Hey, guys. Okay, we got a lot to talk about. We got a lot to talk about.
Okay,
Okay.
first of all, may I just say, first off, Merry Christmas, Happy
Mm.
New Year. I already moved. My cows are in the barn in the other house. And this I'm Christmas casual. I hope everybody's okay with that. There you go.
Yes, you look fine, Susan. You look like you're just kind of kicking it back, which we
Kicking
deserve.
it back.
We've been very busy.
Yep. This is our Christmas New Year show. So
Yep.
Merry Christmas is in the past, but Happy New Year is coming soon.
Oh boy, a lot of good football's coming, guys. New Year's Eve day.
Oh
Hey,
my.
2 wins for the Saints. Just saying, guys.
Well, it's good to
All
watch.
right, all right.
But, well, no, no. Hey, but listen, guys, we have been so busy with the Branson Christmas show, then right to Wautoma, Wisconsin,
That
then
was nuts.
Sellersville and Natick, Mass. We'll take you through it. The Branson, I mean, Susan's having a melancholy on Branson. I mean, and
I
Andy,
am. I miss the driveway to our
It was
house.
fun. It was fun.
I miss Andy Williams parking lot. I miss my singing rock. You guys, when you pull into work every night, Andy Williams is singing throughout the parking lot. It's the most wonderful time of the year.
it
Yep.
was so Christmased up for
Stop
me
that.
that when we left Branson, I had to remember Christmas hadn't happened yet.
Yeah.
It
Yeah.
was
Me
still coming
too.
at me. I felt like it was over.
It
I
was
had no
crazy.
problem with that. I am so
Strange
happy.
feeling.
I hope it happens again. I know it was a bit of they've got some things to work out over there, but I hope that when they do, we're involved.
And then what
What was your favorite thing? What was your favorite thing about the show? And then we'll do something else. What was your favorite thing about the show?
my favorite thing about the Branson Christmas show was being pushed as an artist. I mean, this is gonna sound funny, but it's true. Because at first, when I read what we were going to have to do, I was going, what did I get myself into? I'm no guitar. I'm walking and talking and singing, and I'm going to have moves and whatever it's going to be. And the fact that by about the fourth or fifth night, you're rolling with that. And it's kind of, okay, this is cool. And then you're really settled in. When the show got comfortable, the whole thing became comfortable. And that morphing to the show getting comfortable and learning our parts was a new experience at my
Oh,
age. As
fun.
an artist,
No, and you know what's
Yeah.
cool about that for me, and I'm very serious about this because, like, look, you guys, we had to do like not choreography, but choreography, and that meant each night, one guy goes, the other guy goes, and it happens the same way every night. And every night, Bob off of our giant staircase, well, he goes, I follow Bob, and without Bob's moving, I don't know what to do. And every night, you just got more. I felt like you were going out there like freaking, I don't know, Bobby Darin, like heading out.
well, because nights 1 through 10, going down those steps, and people were coming down some high steps to start our
Hi.
singing. The first 10 shows is don't fall, don't fall, don't fall, don't fall. Because if I fall, yeah, it's like I fell in the Olympics. I might as well be that person, you know.
Oh
I
man,
fell in the show
bless your
because I'm going
heart.
down these steps with slippery shoes.
Well, you would alternate from maybe trying to use the railing, and then by the end of it, the guy was like dancing Fred Astaire down
Well,
these.
then I wanted to be like Obama coming off the airplane. I'd run down with my arms going left and right. I'm fit. I'm young.
All
I'm
right.
healthy.
Okay, Polly, what was your favorite thing about the show?
Well, I had two things. And
Okay.
and that was that first of all, it reminded me of college because that was where I would do a lot of plays, and I had forgotten that once you learn the your words, in the play you're going to be in, then you get to start having fun. But as long as you have that book in your hand, and it used to last in college, like way deep into these plays we were doing, and the professor would go, "Hey, we got to get rid of the books. We got to get rid of the books," and I learned that there, and so then doing this show literally on the stage, man, my brain was like just working overtime. And one night I'd come out there and my brain would take me to being in the first grade at St. Joe's doing our Christmas pageant. Okay. And then the next time I would be out there and I would think, God, this is something I've always wanted to do. I used to say it to myself, wow, to do a Christmas show like the craft music calls we used to do would be just fantastic, but it wasn't a reality thing. It was something that I thought would be so cool, in our later life and kind of thing. And man, it happened. And then to do these shows for the whole month of November, not even Christmas, not even Thanksgiving. I mean, it was just brilliant, man. I had the time of my life.
I gotta mention something you mentioned during the show. Sometimes in the early shows, after you got used to it. But in the early shows, I'm especially in a song like Jingle Bells, we're singing Jingle Bells, and I'd be standing there and I'd think, I'd let my mind go. I go Jingle Bells, right? And I'd let my mind go, wow, look at me, I'm in the Andy Williams Christmas show, you know. While the song going Jingle Bells, and then all of a sudden we're going down the stairs for Jingle Bell Rock. It's like snowing and blowing or dancing and Prince. Oh my God, what is it? You know?
Yeah.
The
I
craziest.
did that a couple of times for sure. Got lost because I was having too much downtime. That's when you got comfy. Then you had to learn, oh wow, I guess I can't really afford to do that out here. I got to stay on my game, you know.
Well, and it was funny too, because I used those movements like going down the stairs. When I was going down the stairs singing Jingle Bell Rock, I was knowing that the first thing up was snowing and blowing. You know, and I just, because of the stairs, I was turning and going snowing and blowing, a bushel of fun, and I was going, wow, that's great. But then once you think it's great,
without
once
those stairs, he is dancing and prancing, and we
that's right. But once you think to yourself, wow, look at, I'm doing it, you forget the next line coming at you.
Yeah,
you know, because we don't really know the songs like we thought.
Hey, look, I got snowing and blowing.
Look, you guys, and I know you'll remember. Wait, I'll know you'll remember this moment. So we're coming down the stairs and we're coming around the corner and we're snowing and blowing, and then we're and I don't know about y'all, but I'd look across at the Letterman boys and they'd be over there, kind of, you know, in the square, frosty hair. You know, it's like, what are they singing on the other side of the building?
Hey, can I mention one thing? I need to mention that one of the outcomes that was unknown going in, but wonderfully achieved coming out, was the vocal stacks. The blend of the Letterman and the Cowsill's vocal stacks was absolutely stellar. I have to say, these are three magnificent singers.
Yes.
Just unbelievable
awesome
how that worked out.
And you're right. Like, cause like in the beginning, okay, so y'all guys, none of us got to rehearse. There was no getting together. The getting together was 2 to 3 days before the first show.
Mm-hmm.
And that's asking a lot of the most professional people. And I personally thought, God, the Letterman and us, it's just going to be boom shakalaka right away. Well, it's not like that, because dang it, you need to sit for a minute to listen to where people might or might not be. We tried to do it a little bit as friends. That was for Nadia. But the thing of it is, it really just took us singing it over and over to find our places. And boy, by the last 2 weeks or whatever it was like butter.
If you ever want to see the Letterman, I'm telling you, Bobby and Donovan, who's that 20-something?
Rob.
Rob. Yeah, he's like 21 or something.
20-something. Oh, he'll love that.
No.
They are incredible.
And
you know, the interesting thing is, okay, so is there an original Letterman? No, but man, Donovan has been doing it for 40 years. Okay. Bobby, 30 years, you know,
and 16. You can't be more original of a band member of anything.
That's right. That's right. And these guys sing like angels, man. In fact, I do maybe want to say, because, you know, the other guys are gone, man, I think they sound better than the original 3 Letterman. And I've listened to a lot of 3 Letterman guys, you know, back in our day.
So too. And guess what? I think they'd agree and probably be honored by that.
Yes. Yeah.
Those guys were young. They weren't around that long. You know what I mean? I mean,
they're cataloging the songs. This is the best.
Absolutely.
They were fantastic. They should be on the Happy Together tour.
They should be on the Happy Together.
So we're living
get those guys on the line.
We're living in Branson for 6 weeks. We get up and we have bacon and eggs, and we get up and we cook them for ourselves.
Okay, yeah, that was the
we're in the 1-bedroom villas. We got them decorated as Christmas. You wake up each morning, you go, oh gosh, I gotta get to work at 6:30 tonight when I go to the theater. And this is, we're learning the life of the entertainer. Yeah. So, and the life of the ones that have the where you come to Vegas,
the residencies.
We understand how nice it is to have the audience brought to you instead of you traveling in the buses, a la the Happy Together tour, which is great in its own way to the audience. But this is luxurious, guys. So, and this is like on December 9th, the morning of December 10th at 4 a.m., someone's going to flip a switch on us, okay? Yeah. Because all that I just described is going to disappear in a flash. And we are going to the airport to return to our non-Branson Christmas show lives, which is, they're beautiful, but it's a shock of a rock, baby, because we're on an airplane that you can barely walk into without hitting your head, trying to get out of Branson to Wautoma, Wisconsin. And then we right into a show that night. No one likes to fly day of show. We flew day of show. We come
with no sleep.
With no sleep. And I know everyone waiting in Wautoma could look at us and go, but you've been
Doing nothing.
relaxing for 6 weeks. I go, but that's very difficult and it catches up with you. And then when you have to go so quick, it's hard, right? And then barely home, Sellersville, Natick, but 3 nights of fun Christmas shows, guys. And Branson set it all up for us.
It
Yes,
was great.
because now the Cowsills can actually have a Christmas show, because to be very honest with you, prior to our Branson tenor, we didn't really have a very good Christmas show. And we did some fancy versions of things.
And we did not know when it was snowing and blowing or prancing and dancing.
No, but now we do. And we knew.
But I will tell you what I was so grateful for, and everybody out there in Pod World knew that the weather's been just crazy. And for whatever reason, God was on our shoulder or what have you. And that is that we never saw any of the bad weather, and we had long drives to do. Yeah. And we were lucky, man. We really lucked out, because when I got home, it was like 92 degrees. It was crazy here. So
hey, here's a fun experience.
To a tornado.
Yeah.
The meet and greets, guys, the meet and greets are back and wild. Hey, here's a great encounter at the meet. So we're at our meet and greet. It's crowded, people walking by. And this kid, he looks like he's about 15 years old, comes up to us and says, hey, I'm Nate, your podcast editor. And we're going, you're Nate, our podcast editor?
You're 15.
Yeah, we're going, you have to listen to all this stuff. This guy, I had to Google
think about that.
Believe me, when Nate got the assignment from New York, because he's in LA, he said, and he got the assignment to Market Media, whatever the arrangement is, that you're going to edit the Cowsill's podcast.
He went to his parents.
He went to his parents and said, or he went to Google, and first he typed in CASTLES, because we got to start there first.
Chocolate.
Hey, but wasn't that a hoot to meet Nate?
It was.
And what was really cool, so he's there and he's like, hey, I'm Nate, I'm your podcast guy. And we're like, no, you're too young. And then his folks were standing right with him. And I went, oh, Nate has got to, Nate made good. He got to come home and go, Mom, Dad, I'm editing the Cowsills. They're like, you've made it, son.
And we're like the Clampers. Like, we have a podcast editor? What is that?
Right.
And he's a hip, adorable young man.
Yeah. What was fun was meeting people that have been listening to the podcast. I mean,
it was.
You have a different conversation with those people because they're inside of this world, you know?
They are. It's fun.
Was very cool. Very cool.
Yeah,
love that.
Podcast's the best thing. Let's just do it forever.
Oh yeah.
But not from Branson.
If it's forever, the last 10 years we'll have no guests.
Listen, I got to tell you something.
We'll have guests we check
because they'll all be dead. Okay, but I have to tell you something. The podcasting, for me, and I think our listeners will agree, the podcasting in one room is no bueno.
No good. No,
I don't like it. It's not natural for us.
It's not
born in a Zoom box, right?
Yeah. This was born in a Zoom box.
Yeah.
I mean, because we are very good when we're together, you know, like on stage and stuff. But then to do a show, you think about looking forward at you all instead of going sideways. Well, what do you think?
And
now, most people went from that sitting around the table or sitting in chairs. They went from that to this now, but we started with this, and when we went to that,
that's what I'm saying. That was awkward.
Yeah, that was odd.
I don't know if you noticed, but because of the Zoom box, we, who are notorious for talking over each other just in life in general, we have, when we're all together in the same room, we're back to the same shenanigans of
well,
we have our cues down. We got it all down.
Yeah, because we need to encourage anyone who thinks that we might be able to host a TV show, even though there's 3 of us.
Well, no.
That will behave. And we're not saying you got to put us in squares and stuff. Like
no, wait. That's different because we'll be in a tilted table. No. If we have our own show, then we've got this kind of rather large, but it's okay because there's 3 of us. Table that's shifted, and we will be looking at our people.
There we go.
It'll be okay. Yeah. The TV show is going to be fine.
We'll be on that show coming February, guys.
Yeah, we are someone replacing
Cowsill's.
Fallon. Aren't we replacing Fallon?
I think we're replacing Kelly Clarkson.
Oh, I knew it was one of them. Just for that, like, just so they can have that sabbatical.
You know, it makes sense because you would probably want us to replace a daytime show first, to, test the waters. And
I think that's wise. Whoever made that choice is great. So be looking for that. Call over to Kelly Clarkson and ask her when the Cowsill's replacement series is coming.
Better. Call Kelly Clarkson and ask, when is Kelly on hiatus? and you don't
Wait.
have your answer. Then you
Wait,
call
wait,
back and say, hey, we heard the Cowsills are covering on Kelly's hiatus. Can you tell us
maybe
about
we should
that?
say, maybe we should start by trying to get on the Kelly Clarkson show, make very good friends with Kelly. Then Kelly shares with me intimately that she could use a break. I offer us up. Boom.
Sounds good. Sounds like how you got the Partridge Family for us. So
Hey, I still went and met Marie Osmond and you didn't.
that's true.
Yeah, that's because you said city council.
Because
right?
she thought I was from city
Nobody.
council, but I don't.
It's like we won't meet Wayne Newton either because we're not going with you.
Yeah, see, here's the deal, guys. So we're looking to get Wayne Newton on as a guest on our podcast. But of all the stars that we've been after, this
It's tough.
guy is tough to get through that, whatever he's got surrounding
You can
him.
usually call a management or something. There's nothing. Wayne doesn't exist.
Yes, it's like crazy. So Susan
And
has a plan
I do.
to accost Wayne. Now,
Yeah.
listen, she got a little heady on the Marie Osmond thing, but so she's gonna forge on Wayne Newton.
Here's the thing. Mary and Susie, our bass player, Mary Lasang, they're going. And
Yep.
so Russ and I are going to join. And I just think I'm going to try the slip the note under the door old school. Susan Cowsill's here, would love to say hello to you. Because
Wow.
casters, I do want you to know I'm not completely psycho. Wayne Newton was a friend of ours in the very early days. He did love us. He called my mom Mrs. She. Mrs. She. Mrs. She, I can hear him. Hello, Susan. Mrs. She, your family is beautiful.
And by the way, you Nugget casters who want to support Susan Mary,
In our Wayne Newton.
and this is happening and occurring on the weekend of our appearance at the Golden Nugget,
Next
January
day.
27th. And
Yes.
January 28th, they are going to be accosting the Newton concert and the Newton security staff.
It's going to
And
happen.
the more, the better.
Wayne's going to be in a fourth
right.
square soon. Mark
And then-
Miller.
Yeah, and all you people that might be coming to the Wayne Newton thing, come on over to the Cowsill show at the Golden Nugget.
And there's
Yeah.
that.
Bring
Hold
your
on. Good
signs.
idea.
And then go to Wayne's show. Bring your signs there too, but turn them around where they say, "Now, Wayne, please do the
Be on
Cowsills
Cowsill
podcast."
Yeah, that'd be
Open up in the
awesome.
audience
Who
and
needs
stuff.
management with minds like these?
And
Be
that
awesome.
name will resonate with Mr. Newton. It will.
Oh, he's going to be happy to see me. He loved me, trust.
Well, now wait a minute, Susan. But just everyone loves you, and Dean Martin sang with you and all that business. But I got to tell you, it was the boys in Mrs. C that Wayne was into. Okay, Kitty.
I know. I was
You
just
were
a
the
little
kid
kid.
sister we dragged around. Said,
I
"Oh,
know.
Wayne, by the way, this is our sister Susan."
Listen,
look
I
like
remember
Bill
being in
Radner
a
on Saturday
club.
Night Live. Oh, hi, Wayne.
No, for real. Because I remember being in a club and I remember the table like at my cheek. I
It was
do
when
it
we-
looking up
it
at
was-
everybody.
It was when we found out that his brother Jerry was in his show. Remember, we met Jerry.
Yes.
We knew. I think it
I
was.
was going to
Jerry.
ask if he had a brother just like Dick
Yeah,
Van
we
Dyke
saw
had
him
the
playing
brother.
a show that night.
I didn't dream that.
No, we saw it. I'm not so
It's at the
certain.
same place
but
where the table's up to my cheek, but I remember that night, y'all.
I'm pretty sure. Now I could be confusing him with.
No, you
brother
are not.
Jerry Van
Yeah,
Dyke.
I don't know.
Nope, I'm
But there's a
corroborating,
Van Dyke,
Bob. I am corroborating because I thought
Yeah,
I dressed it
Jerry.
up. I'm like, no, that's Dick Van Dyke who has the other brother who's also does a thing. It's like, no, Wayne Newton had a brother too.
Oh, we got a couple of Jerry brothers now. We got these showbiz guys are as good
This
as
is
their
very
brothers.
exciting stuff on this cast.
That
I'm
is good.
thrilled over here. I'm very
Oh,
inspired.
All right, so let's get that little escapade going, folks, onto the Wayne
All right,
Newton.
that's coming up. All right, Russ,
Yes.
tell Mary and Susie we're coming. We're
Now-
going to Wayne Newton.
And by the way, the audiences in Natick and Sellersville, thank you. Okay,
Yes.
thank you for coming
Yeah,
out.
y'all.
It was so fun. These intimate rooms. We added a Q&A to our
Yeah.
show, folks.
Yeah,
It was good.
super fun.
Q&A to all of them. And you people can ask questions now. Even if
answer.
you're in the back row, we'll somehow find your answer and give it to you.
Yeah.
And
We're
look,
thinking
we'll
of getting a
answer.
microphone out there if we're
Oh,
going to
in the
really
aisle, right.
Oh,
go
are
inside
we?
of this. It's kind
Well,
of like
nobody
Jack
talked to
Park.
me about that. You two having meetings about
Please,
mics?
No.
we have
Q&A?
winter meetings, okay?
We
Now,
were all there. We
Like-
said it
Uh,
like backstage. It wasn't a
were we
serious
all
conversation.
there,
Okay.
or were we all there?
Yeah.
We're gonna humbly address a Cassie issue with us
All right, let's
about
do
our
it.
gigs. And I guess when a band gets a lot of gigs, we get so excited that every week we want to say them over and over and over again. We're playing here, we're playing there, we're playing there. And the listeners who listen every week are going, we know,
Right.
no.
Turns out we were annoying some people, I think.
Yeah. We were.
I think we were.
Because the problem was we would do it every show and then we would extrapolate inside that So
Like
we
only
spent
we can do.
time on the lineup.
Right. We're
Yeah.
addressing the one new listener while we're
Yeah.
causing deep pain to the 9 that are still there listening to us. And we apologize for that. So, but to be candid, there's only 2 we need to mention, if you don't mind, for the last time.
Right, we're out of them, so it's like
We're out of them. So it's basically January 27th at the Golden Nugget.
And then Wayne Newton the next day. Go
And
ahead.
and Wayne Newton, we're all going to the Wayne Newton show to bring up the podcast, Cowsill's podcast, to him. And then the Flower Power Cruise, where we have 3 shows and we are on all week with all of you.
What's the date of that, please? So I
March
can-
27th to March.
Okay.
March 23rd to March 30th, I think.
Yeah.
Okay. Now, and that's it. Then the Happy Together tour in the summer,
Always the
of course,
best.
with
Talk to
on the
Mark, he sounds amazing.
outside looking in.
Listen,
Oh, little
Bowman
Anthony,
sounds
that's right, man.
phenomenal.
Heck yeah.
Susan
And the
is
album
in-
is
I'm sorry, Susan is in communication with Mark Bowman, our illustrious leader. So
He's
sounds
doing
good.
wonderful. He feels amazing. He's wrangled his beast. You know, we're all getting old and we all get a little something here and there. Well, his somethings are all under control and he cannot wait for the summer.
cool.
Yeah, he's
And we also have Rhythm of the World is out, people. I know you're probably tired of hearing us talk about that because we've been talking
too
about it a
bad.
long
It's going to
time.
get worse before it gets better.
That's right, because it's doing well. We're getting a lot of great feedback from everything. We've all about used up all of our PR, which is press we can get. And now with the new year upon us, we're going to step up into more of a second stage assault with the record. And hopefully it'll be more marketing, which you got to pay for.
Let's put it this way.
Yeah.
There are some big things coming with the Cowsills, and we're not going to tell you yet because we don't know what they are yet, but they are coming to us. Nope, they are coming to us. And that is the truth.
But
It
we
is
do
the
not,
truth.
Bob. You are
Hey.
so right. We have not a clue. We
By
just
the
have
way-
little angels in the air saying, hey, wait till you see what I got here.
But guess
Wait
what
till you
else?
see this.
But Cowsill Week on Sirius XM 60s Gold, Cowsill Week starting January 5th is coming. That is true. And we're
That
on
is coming.
podcast. We're appearing on podcast. Keep abreast of things on Cowsill.com. The
All
interviews
kinds
we're
of
doing
stuff coming on Sirius.
on Sirius.
Yep.
And
I
she's-
am
And
serious.
she's
about
dead
it.
serious. So she's
I'm
serious.
dead
about
serious.
that.
But listen. We're not going anywhere.
Well, can I?
And
I'm
yeah.
sorry. Can I finish the gig thing segment?
Do it.
yeah, you
So
can go
from
and
now
enjoy those
on,
3
we're going to
people.
shut up about the gigs. And
Yeah.
you guys are going to go to our Facebook page, our Cowsill.com, and
Yeah.
go to appearances, it's called. Now, appearances means where are we going to be? And you can find it all there, okay? And that's how we'll accommodate the ones who are just tired of hearing this stuff. And I'm with them.
I'm not. I love hearing.
Thank
how
you,
much
Susan,
work
for
I have.
accommodating that. Now, what were you saying? I'm
I
sorry.
have no clue, Robert, because I'm
Oh,
on
dear.
vacation still. You can see by my attire. I've got no backdrop. I'm kicking it in my front room.
For you people that are just hearing the audio version of this, Susan is actually right now in the Bahamas lying on the beach in a string bikini. And she's digging it.
Yeah,
Feeling
in
good.
my body from 20 years ago.
You almost look Russian or something with
Thank
the
you. I'm
hat.
feeling a little Russian.
She
I'm
looks a
feeling
little like a Cossack. Yes.
A cafetias. Paul,
comrade.
I don't know what it meant, but it worked.
It
Yeah.
did.
So anyway,
So, okay, gigs
guys-
up, all things. Okay, look, we are we
We're-
griping or are we moving right into what?
Yeah, so we are going to be griping, Susan, in a second. But what we're going to let everybody know is that now we are basically all home until really the cruise and then Happy Together. We'll be right here manning our podcast stations
I'm pretty
and
excited
continuing
about
to produce these. And so we're going to get back to, Paul Pufferfish stuff and,
Oh, yeah.
all of that. We're
Love our
just kind of
segment.
gathering ourselves right now.
I
The
might
holidays
even
are
say
crazy.
we're going to have some new and exciting segments.
Yeah, we will. We will.
yeah, because it really
sure.
is ending. I'm surprised we did this one because we could have put up one more rerun and gone, hey, it's between Christmas and New Year's. Give us a break.
Listen, I'm dressed like we
Yeah.
put up another rerun,
I
okay?
know.
Right,
Yeah,
right.
but we wanted to catch you people up and cover a few things. Now,
Yeah.
So now Thomas Newman. I know that name doesn't mean much to people,
It doesn't.
but it was brought to our attention by Pam, who's one of our castees. Info@council.com, by the way, is where you get a hold of us. And
Anytime you want to talk to us.
we heard from Pam about this website that has the 10 best Cowsill songs of all time. And I thought, wow, there's 10 of them? Because even I was shocked. But I'm
Right.
on game. So, and it was by Thomas Newman, put up in June. So I went to it. And I have it right here in front of me. We checked it out, Pam. And we have to tell you, we have never seen as much misinformation in our family and our band as we have seen in the top 9, it turned out, not 10. So even
Oh
though
my
we're
God.
we're at 9, I think someone pointed that out.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
just to take the listeners through a few of them who don't want to Google, Thomas
Thomas Newman.
Cowsills. Susan, you want to take us through this first one, the rain, the park, and other things? This is what Thomas has to say about the rain, the park, and other things.
I would really love to, because as we all can very well see, I'm assigned this one, and it's very special, near and dear to me.
Now we're allowed to interrupt, Paul. Go ahead, Susan.
Okay, so Thomas Newman writes about the rain, the park, the number one top favorite of his. He
Yeah.
writes the song is about young love, but he also says that the Cowsill's most popular songs were even featured, this particular one, in an episode of the Brady Bunch. It also says that the rain, the park, and other things was written by group member Susan Cowsill. Now, you guys,
At
I was
7,
7.
right?
6 maybe
Okay.
when Artie wrote it.
This guy's
was
got to be on the ganja.
And
He
it
says the
continued.
song was released in 67. It reached number 17 on the Billboard Hot 100. Not. It was number 2 or 1. It has been covered by many artists over the year, including Weezer. Weezer covered Rain the Park. The Partridge Family, he
Dude.
claimed.
I mean, okay. So
Yeah.
Susan, that was excellent. So that now, Paul, you want to pick one? I mean, it doesn't have to be the next one.
I get another one.
And by
too.
the way, the Rain, the Park, and other things, this is 9th of top 10. So we're going to
Yes.
count them down to number 1. That was number 9.
Yeah.
Well, I want to jump to number 7 because this one, I mean, the song is called Meet Me at the Wishing Well. And I'll tell you what, if there's more than 10 people that have ever heard that song, I can't imagine how Mr. Newman, but he has it here that it was released in 1968 from the album Captain Sad and the Ship of Fools. This song was co-written by group members of the Cowsill and has a more psychedelic sound than some of their other hits. The song is about, again, young love, and was a favorite of the group to perform live. We never did it live, not once. The song did great, reaching number 3 on the Billboard Hot 100.
Beating out Rain the Park, our hit.
It has also featured in many films, and I love this film it was in, and I remember seeing the film, but I don't remember Meet Me at the Wishing Well. Notably, the largest film was in 2006. It was in Superman Returns. Man, we
Okay,
did
Bob,
y'all.
I know it's your turn, but can I please
Yes.
have the next one? Because this is,
I think we're allowed to comment.
Okay, I'm going with number 6, Mr. Flynn. This song is about loss and how it can leave us feeling empty and alone. It was released in 67 on Weekend Fly. The song was written by Bob Hilliard and Burt Bacharach.
Burt Bacharach wrote Mr. Flynn.
He wrote Mr. Flynn.
Yes.
Hey,
It had been
You're
covered
saying
by,
it.
check it out, Andy
Yes.
Williams, Johnny Mathis, and Dionne Warwick all covered Mr. Flynn. And it was in Naked Gun 33 and
It was
a half.
the featured song in Naked Gun.
Yeah.
33
And also in
and
Final
third.
Insult and Catch Me If You Can, but that's incidental. It is a classic song that is relevant to this day. Mr. Flynn
God,
by
wow.
Burt Bacharach.
Funny. That is crazy.
Go ahead, Bob.
man.
What do you got?
I got Indian Lake. Now, let me tell something. Let me set up Indian Lake. I got to set up because Indian Lake has one verse, people. Okay. One verse. And that's
This is
it.
the best one. Read it in its
It does
entirety.
da whoop, da whoop, dop, dop, da whoop, dop, and it does other things, but one verse. And it's Indian Lake is a scene you can make with your little one. Keep it in mind if you're looking to find a place in the summer sun. That's the lyric. But here's what he saw. Indian Lake is another incredible song by the Cowsills. It tells the story of a Native American tribe that lived near a lake. The tribe was forced to move away from the lake when the government built a dam. According to Rip Pop Music, it tells
Which
about
is
the,
whatever.
it tells about the tribe's journey,
Yes.
their struggles. That must be
Yes.
the da whoop dop dop da whoop. Must be that part.
They're exhausted.
Released in 1968, it ranked at number 37 on the Billboard charts. By the way, it went to number 3, folks. Number 2, actually, in Billboard. Thank you. It was also
My
featured
favorite.
and several movies like The Outsiders, and it was in Stand By Me. You know,
Stand by me.
I thought I
Indian
heard
Lake, who
Indian
could
Lake in
forget when
Stand
they
By
were
Me.
under the bridge?
Guys. And the number one song is A Time for Remembrance, which was, by the way, used in the season finale of The Sopranos.
Incredible.
Remember
Okay,
from the Weekend
can I-
Fly album.
Incredible.
Incredible.
May I
Yes.
want to do number 2 because this is an important one. This is deep. This is Gray Sunny Day, guys. And I want you to know that this song evokes a longing for somebody who is gone. And it was written by Bill and was inspired by the death of his father.
Oh my God.
In
Dad
1960,
died
the
in
song has been
68?
used. This is in 1967. Bill wrote this about the death of his father. So Bill was a prophet because Dad
What
didn't die
song?
until 90 something.
What song, Susan?
Oh, I'm sorry, Paul.
Gray
This
Sunny
would be
Day.
Gray
Number
Sunny
2.
Day. Bill wrote
Scroll
about the
down to
death
number
of
2.
Dad.
It says Bill Cowsill was inspired and wrote
Yeah,
this by the
death of his father. It was also in The Big Chill and Forrest Gump, and it ranked at number 92 on Billboard's 100 greatest songs of the 60s. And guess what? It still remains relevant to this day and will continue to be a timeless classic. Gray Sunny Day. Thank you.
Wow. Yep.
Wow.
Well, I
Go
think
ahead.
that we should have Mr. Newman contact us. If you're out there
I
I
listening
think we
to our
need to talk
podcast,
to
Mr. Newman,
Thomas.
and we want to hear where you got these facts, because we want to believe what you're saying, because
Yeah, we want to believe
so
it. Yeah.
we have a new publishing company and they're going to go find all that money for us.
Yeah. Yeah. And you know what? I'll tell you one thing I'm going to do tonight. I am definitely watching Forrest Gump because I'm going to confirm this stuff because I'm fit
Well,
to be tied about this
let's go
misuse
through
of
the
our
whole-
catalog.
Let's go through the whole thing then, and we'll log off because there were quite a few very, very huge movies
Crazy.
mentioned
Yeah.
here.
That was crazy.
And we'll send them
stuff
off
right
to
there.
Steven.
Isn't it
Hey,
wild?
yeah.
Here's another question from a Cassie. So this is Mark. He wants to know if we do a concert of just Cowsill songs, like from the first 3 albums and Global Rhythm of the World, Cocaine Drain, just all Cowsill songs.
Yeah.
He wants to know, will we do that concert?
Wait, who's
Yeah,
asking
we
us?
would.
Info at
Farney?
Cowsill.com. One of our castees is asking us.
Oh,
Yes,
you mean
do
like a
that.
house concert request? Sure, of course.
No,
No.
would we
No.
give a concert at like
Yeah.
maybe Carnegie Hall? If look, let me tell you something.
Like
If we're gonna
Farney
give
or
a-
something.
If we're so big, Mark, that we can do a concert of deep cuts from our first 3 albums, Global and the Cocaine Drain and Rhythm of the Wave. If we're that big that we can have a night like that, dude, that show's going to be in Carnegie Hall. That show's going to be so big because otherwise we're never going to do that show because we can't get enough people to go to it unless we make our more general star brighter, which we're doing. And we're on a second search. There's no doubt about it. And
Yeah.
it's going well. So there
Yeah.
is not, we're not saying no. We're
No.
just saying what it's going to take for
Yeah.
the band to learn them. And we'd want an orchestra.
But listen,
Some of this
for
stuff.
sure.
I mean, this would be a big undertaking.
and here's one of the songs I think we should put in this deep cut moment. I have to harken back one more time to
Okay.
Mr. Thomas Newman. I think we need to cover Captain Sad and His Ship of Fools, which was penned by our own brother John Cowsill and is based on a painting by Edward Hopper, according to Apple. And
His inspiration.
but most importantly, and why I think it really would behoove us to put this in the deep cut, is it was covered by Bob Dylan.
Yeah,
Says right here, and Simon and Garfunkel.
Wow.
They'll all be at the
That's
show.
relevant.
Those
Yeah.
guys will come to the show when they hear we're doing these songs that they did.
They'll wanna sing along
Yes,
with it, or they'll wanna do backup.
In his
Yeah.
super food.
They'll want to do background. So okay, sorry, I didn't mean to go back to that, but we're talking deep cuts, and I'm feeling it. I'm
Crazy,
feeling
man.
it.
Man, that was a
Thomas
crazy.
Newman.
You know, it tells me if that's there about us, what am I reading about everybody? What the heck is going on out there?
And believing.
And believing people could
Yeah.
read that and go, who are
Yeah.
young. And I'm going to Google the Cowsills and bump into Tommy Newman's little stick here and think like, wow, they really did it. So I think we should take this article of his and assume it's all true. He's got his backing. He would never put something like that out.
Yeah, you're not allowed to write stuff that isn't true.
Yeah, I think we should share it on all our social media sites. Let the word out.
Yeah, big things happened already.
Hey, check it out. Check it out. So we do that and we blitz this thing and we turn
Yeah.
it into a fake real thing. And the next thing you know is like The Big Chill, Forrest Gump. They're reissuing albums with these cuts on them. And we make a
You don't-
gazillion dollars.
You don't think we got Cassies out there that could take a clip from Forrest Gump and insert the Rain in the Park and whatever
Would
they're saying
really
it's
do
in
it
Yeah,
where
yeah.
the people feel the pressure.
and say, you're right, here it is.
You found it, Mr. Newman.
That is the most absurd stuff. So
It's the
hey, you guys are
best.
doing a great job alerting us to that. Was a lot of fun.
Yes,
And
that was a good one.
we just can't believe what we were reading there. But
Really
listen,
fun.
we're going to start having guests. For instance, you know, the info@cowsill.com thing is a cool thing because people are getting in touch with us. We heard from a company where they're asking us about the Jonas Brothers' dad, Kevin, wanting to be on our podcast. And we
Yeah,
can
how
talk
about that?
management and production and managing the boys. And he's done some other stuff, you know. So I don't know
I
if he
think-
wrote did he write a book or has a thing coming out? Who knows? But we're going to start having guests from, what did Paul say? All walks of life.
All
Yes,
walks of
all
life.
walks
Listen,
of
I'm
life.
going to get Wayne Newton personally, drag his
Well,
butt back
You
here.
do that. And if Mr. Jonas does come on, we will strike the deal right there to go out with the boys and open up for his kids.
At which point,
Hey,
my
that's a
daughter will
great
come
idea because you
Yeah.
know what? That's a night of family band.
Family,
family fun.
vocals, everything.
I
Yeah.
think the Jonas
Okay.
and the Cowsills, that's a thing.
Let's
Sounds
get
it to
Kevin
me.
on, the dad. Let's not tell him of the plan, okay, for sure.
No, no, no,
But
no,
we'll
no, never,
guide him
never,
that
never
way.
reveal. No, don't show your hand ever.
And Cassie's, you're in on it, so you're going to hear the episode. You're going to watch us guide this guy through getting us the opening slot on the Boys Next tour. So
Wait a minute,
yeah.
you guys, the Jonas Brothers are broke up.
tune in.
Well-
No, he's going to reunite him for this.
They're going to come back together for one family evening.
Yeah, one more thing. Hey, and you know what we'll say when we say yes to them, we'll tell them to grab the Bacon Brothers just for the heck of it. We'll have a real night of family.
Okay, I like
You know
that.
what?
And we might
You-
could include a few
You know
more.
what might be a funny thing
Huh.
with all this talking we always do on here, you know, and we have some great people on there and we've all said, oh, we'd love to play with you. And they go, man, we just died. We'd love to play with you. We could call it podcast and it could be a concert of all of the people that said they would love to play with us on the podcast, but literally have it done.
Podstock.
Yeah, Podstock.
Oh, Podstock. I like
Yeah,
that.
yeah.
I like that. That'd be quite
All
the
the people who said it. I like
That would
it.
be
It can
awesome.
happen.
Okay, it can happen. We
All
just
right,
gotta,
that could be the
if-
next thing.
yeah, if we pulled that one off, we've also pulled off the deep cut nights at Carnegie Hall. So I'm
Yeah, we
loving
have.
the plan.
Exactly.
Featuring Bob Dylan on Captain Sad, I hope. I hope he can.
Exactly.
Yes, Captain said, and
And
super
it's
I mean,
smooth.
you know,
smooth.
Who would turn that
Something
down? He sent his
down.
parents to our concert that
Knows
time.
every dirty lyric and every
True.
dirty song.
Hey, that's when it might have happened.
What?
Remember when Bob Dylan's parents came to our concert?
Yep.
The Zimmermans.
With the Zimmermans.
Oh, I see all of this brewing at the time. Bob must have sent that song along. Oh, he covered it. He didn't write it. I'm sorry. John wrote Captain Sad. My bad. I'm cross collateralizing stories.
John, and yeah, and you wrote The Rain in the Park and other things.
Fuck yeah.
Hey,
Me and Artie.
watch this guy Newman actually be John.
Oh, that would be great if it's not Thomas Newman.
Hey, you
It's
guys.
Johnny
We
Boy.
we need a we need a John cast, but I think we need a John cast. We need a Stamos and Cowsill John off.
Yeah.
Yes.
I
Right?
can't tell you how many times I remembered Stamos saying he'd start a story and said, well, John should really be here. John should really be
Yeah.
here.
For sure. So we
I
need
think
to
we
do
want to
that.
get these two together.
I want to
Yes.
find out what goes on behind the scenes on those crazy shows they're doing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, it's hijinks and tomfoolery. And
Must
you know,
be.
yeah,
Must
we need
be.
to I think we need to check that out. But we
We
need to
can
do
do
a
that.
Johnny cast
Hey,
anyway.
and by the way, you know, I know the Beach Boys play Carnegie Hall. You got to
Yeah.
give kudos to brother Johnny, played Carnegie Hall. I mean, that is amazing to me.
He's been on the Grammys, played Carnegie Hall,
And I think Wembley Stadium and Royal.
He's doing it all.
and wrote Captain Sad. The
And he
dude's on
wrote
fire.
Captain Sad.
Yeah.
And he had a #3 hit with Path of Love. This guy is
But
rocking.
actually, John is working on a secret project. I don't know if we're allowed to talk about it, so I won't. But well, I'm not. Maybe I shouldn't say. Hey, we'll ask him on the
I think
podcast.
it's
We'll put him in the
his
hot seat.
projects, you know. Yeah,
We'll put him in the
make
hot seat.
we'll make him talk about all his secret projects, okay?
Yeah. I know he's got a few up his sleeve.
Yeah, yeah.
Hey, you
So-
guys. Moo. Cows need to eat.
Does anyone know what that meant?
Moo. Cows need
listen.
to eat.
Listen, you guys, we're not saying we're going to have a guest next week. We're going to try because
No, that's not what we said.
People are busy, and we know that, okay?
Yeah. We're
And
just trying to
Wayne
get through the
Newton-
holidays.
Wayne Newton's a month off, and I don't know if we'll get Kevin Jonas on soon
on.
enough.
Hold on.
But
I
see.
do have an idea. It's kind of creative.
Okay.
In lieu of
What?
a guest, we could have one of you guys dress up as a famous person and we could interview you.
It's hard enough to get dressed up like this.
Yeah, but you know what, Susan? Maybe we have an episode, and we call it, like, for instance, the interview with Paul, and you and I interview Paul.
Hey, that's a cool idea. Like
Oh, we
from
could
birth.
do that. Yeah,
Right?
yeah.
From birth, like we would.
And Paul, in our future, Paul, I got to keep telling you, it has got to happen. We got to have the Time Has Come episode. Your perspective. We want to hear all the craziness of that record. And
We
that
have the
song.
next 3 podcasts all done.
Right
guys.
on.
But I want to get
We will
you
do
on
that.
You know, we could get
Yeah.
players like Waddy and stuff, but I don't. When we get Waddy, I want to get about his immediate family band and growing up.
Yeah,
in
no,
Newport.
Polly's time has come.
But
And I don't
gotta
wanna-
have that.
I don't want to waste Waddy's great episode with us to hear all about him, to hear all about this other thing.
And
I
God
would-
bless you, Paul. I believe
want-
Waddy's take on The Time Has Come is probably going to be kind of the blink that Val Garay's take on Covered Wagon was.
Exactly.
But
So
anyway,
Very
we'll
thoughtful
have
guy.
a fun time. We'll have
Yeah.
a fun time. All right. So those are some fun things we can get into. All right.
Yeah, and those are all in the next few weeks. It's not
All right,
like
we'll
we
do
got
that.
a useless situation
our
here.
list is not exhausted yet with
Oh,
people we can
hells
bring
no.
on here.
And by the way, we will move the interview episodes of interviewing each other. We will then move into interviewing possibly members of the Cowsill band.
I think
We
that's
can
fun.
interview
Mary
we-
Lasang, Brendan
Mary Lasang.
Cowsill,
We-
Ryan, anybody.
We've talked about interviewing our agent, see what an agent does. You know, we've got lots
Yeah.
of fun stuff
Hey,
coming.
maybe we could interview Nate, our editor.
Let's have Nate on.
Nate,
Oh,
how
man,
many times
that'd
do
be
I
awesome.
say the F word that you have to cut out? Things like
Hey.
that. It'll be fun.
We're
I
doing
think
much
that
better.
We're going to get Nate. All right. We'll get
Nate.
contact info.
He's listening to us right
Wait a
now.
minute, Nate's listening. to
Hi,
us.
Nate.
Hi, Nate.
Coming on, Nate.
We want to get a hold of you, Nate. We want you to come on as a guest and tell us what the heck you're doing in LA, editing podcasts by way of New York City. What is going
What are
on?
you doing there, kid?
That's right, because we have no idea what it is you do. I mean,
I
what
send
do
these
you
to New
edit?
York. I
Yeah,
send these to New York. Who knew they went
Yes.
to LA next?
Yeah.
yeah,
I'm
crazy.
in LA. Anyway, it's crazy.
Modern times, gentlemen.
Yeah. Hey,
All right,
everyone,
campers.
have a nice New Year's Eve. Have a safe New Year's Eve. The 4 greatest college football teams are playing New Year's Eve day.
Oh, joy.
Okay, well, that's pretty exciting.
Those are playoff games, right?
They're bowl games, but they're the college playoff games are New Year's Eve day.
Look, I
now.
got new Christmas.
Awesome. New
songs.
Year's Eve day. Very good.
Yeah, so you can watch the 2 games and then go out and be cool out there. And hey,
Love
here's
y'all.
2023, guys. Some big things are coming for the Cowsills, and you're going to hear about them first.
You're not going to
here.
believe it, guys.
You won't
because-
believe it because we don't.
You know, but
We
we're
don't
gonna,
even know what it is.
Yeah, wait to open that
Oh,
back.
wait, we do believe it. That's the rub.
We do,
That's-
yes. We just don't know what it is.
Nope. And that makes it exciting. I love you guys and see you guys.
As Paul
Peace
says,
out.
it's second tier, so it's got to be something kind of cool.
It's
All
going
right.
to be something
See you next week.
Christmassy. All right.
Bye all.
Bye, everybody.